everyone, it is time for my May wrap up, and I'm happy to say I read quite a few things, even though some of them were graphic novels, so I feel like I'm kind of cheated just a little bit, but I read a total of 9 things this month, which is a lot better than April, since April I only read 1 book. But yeah, I think May was a little successful. So let's get into what I read in the month of May. Of course, at the beginning of the month, we had Ribsat, which I helped to co-host on Twitter and, you know, encouraging everyone to read their bookshelf, and I managed to read 1 whole book. I did start other books, which I will talk about at the end, but I read Zeros by Scott Westerfeld, Margot Lanigan, and Deborah Biancotti. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. This book is about people, a certain group of people that have superpowers. They have been given abilities of some kind, and they have formed a group called the Zeros, and they have to deal with it. This is a multiple point of view kind of book. Each chapter starts off with telling you whose point of view it's going to be in this chapter, and of course, up here you also have another indicator. This is a chapter from the character Anonymous. That one is from Mob. These superpowers that these characters have might seem a little sucky in the case that it doesn't always work out for them of what their superpower is. Scam has this inner voice in his head that has the ability to say things to other people that'll get what he wants to happen, and it might not turn out right. Like in the beginning of the book, he's looking for a ride home. That's what he wants, so his voice tries its best to get him what he needs, which ends up getting a ride from a drug dealer. I enjoyed the plot, and I am looking forward to the release of the 2nd book later this year. I felt that the characters were really well developed and they were flawed, and I really enjoyed that. They didn't just have superpowers, they had things about them that, you know, they were flawed and they had to overcome things and decide what to do. Yes, they're teenagers and they're dealing with really big issues, life and death issues. If you haven't given this a go, I would suggest you try it. It's rather thick, but it's an easy read to get through. So, next, Rat Queens. I read volumes 1, 2, and 3 over the course of the month, and I really enjoyed this series. I gave volume 1 5 out of 5 stars, volume 2 4 out of 5 stars, and volume 3 4 out of 5 stars. I really picked this up because I'm really enjoying Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I wish I could find a group in my local area that I could play Dungeons and Dragons with, because that is a world and story and roleplay game that I really am interested in. I used to play about 10 years ago with a group of friends. You have a group of 4 adventuring, don't want to say mercenaries, but they're an adventuring group that does things for, you know, a little gold piece here and there, and they are sassy as fuck. Each of the characters is a different race and class, and I really enjoyed that. You know, you have the atheist cleric, which is an oxymoron, who is human. You have an elven mage. There's a smidgen rogue, I want to say, is like a thief, and you have the dwarven fighter. They're all females, and they all have their issues and beliefs and things that they want to accomplish, and I really enjoyed the story. A lot of people have noticed that there's been a difference in the 3rd volume, the fact that there's a different artist. I noticed it a little bit, but I wasn't really paying attention to the artwork. I was more paying attention to the story, because I do have a hard time connecting with stories in graphic novels. I know there's also some controversy with the new artist Tess Fowler, the fact that they have kind of booted her to bring back the original artist who's been spending some time in jail. I don't know how I feel about that, but I think I'm still going to continue to read it. I'm especially looking forward to getting my hands on volume 16 at least, because they have a special cameo of a Dungeons and Dragons group that I follow in that. I did continue my graphic novel reading spree, I guess, because I saw this at Chapters and I decided, hey, let's give it a go, and that was Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. I gave it a 4 or 5 stars on Goodreads, but it's more of like a 3.75 out of 5 stars for me. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the aspects of it. I loved the friendship in this between Blackheart and Goldenloin. I was really irritated with the Nimona character. I felt that as we were going on, she was just this special snowflake kind of character, and that really started to bug me. I really thought that the main character is Blackheart. He seemed like the main character to me. I didn't really like the art style that much. It was very stick figure-esque, especially in the arms and legs department, but you know, what do you do? Next, I've had this on my shelf for a very, very long time, and that is Dr. Horrible and Other Horrible Stories by Zach Whedon. This is another graphic novel anthology of some short stories of the Dr. Horrible crew, just the main characters, there's different comic for each one of them. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. I was just in the mood to finish all the graphic novels I had in my possession, really. It was okay. I liked it because it gave me a little extra from the Dr. Horrible world. I really like Dr. Horrible, so there's that. The last 3 books I read off my Kindle, which, you know, I'm gonna show my Kindle real quick. But that was the first 3 books in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I read The Lightning Thief, which I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. The Sea of Monsters, which I gave a 3 out of 5 stars, and The Titan's Curse, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. Now, I'm reading this series because I really want to read the Trials of Apollo series that is coming out with the Hidden Oracle of the first book. I really enjoy Greek mythology, so I didn't think I was going to get to reading Percy Jackson at all, but I'm going into these books knowing that they're going to be quick, fun, easy reads. I'm not going to be super harsh on them at all. I'm just going to have some fun and read the books. I did enjoy the 3rd book a little better than I did the 2nd and the 1st book. I really can't put my finger on it, maybe because we got to see a lot more of the gods in it, and just I had a really fun time reading it. Okay, back to Ribsat, because those were all the books that I read in the month of May. The next book that came after Zeros in my bookshelf was The Magicians by Lev Grossman. This was going to be a reread for me. I read it a couple of years ago, and I read the first couple of pages and was just not feeling it. I feel like the main character was just an arrogant, oh, woe is me, I'm so unhappy because this girl won't sleep with me kind of thing, and I was just not feeling it at all. I'm like, I don't have time for this. I got better things to read. So then I picked up Strands of Bronze and Gold by Jane Nickerson. I don't have the dust jacket off because I'm still currently in the middle of it. I got to 8 chapters and I'm on page 79. I will eventually pick this up again. I wasn't really feeling it, so I'm just putting it down for now. I'll come back to it eventually. The same thing with Graceling by Kristen Cashore. I'm enjoying it, but at the same time, I'm not really feeling it right now. Now that June is happening and I'm reading a lot of big books, I want to read those, and I feel like these are just... I just put them on the back burner for now. I'll get back to them. I'll read them bit by bit. I'm on page 99 with this, and I can't even read this for Tome Topple because it doesn't have 500 pages. It's just like just under. So that is what I read for the month of May. Thank you so much for tuning in to see what I thought of all the books that I read. I am really excited that I got to try my hand at some graphic novels. I don't think I'd buy some or get some from the library anytime in the near future. It's just not my thing, and that's okay. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!